It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning. You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and I am Regina Eileen Woodard, a.k.a. the Queen of Car Loans.
What's up, everybody? It's Dr. T. Happy Saturday.
What's up, Dr. T?
What's happening? What's up, Mr. Trust the Process Gil Garrett, who is not with us on the show today? Hope you're having a fabulous day, sir.
Shout out to Mr. Trust the Process because, you know, he's has a lot of responsibility and he is out there doing his thing like he always is. So shout out to him. He knows he's a part of our team, part of the crew, whether he is with us or without us, but he's always here in spirit. Shout out to the wife. Shout out to Mrs. Garrett. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday morning or Saturday. But Dr. T, what's going on with you? What's going on with the city of Pontiac? We just lost a legend in the city of Pontiac.
Yeah, Mr. Ken Core, he was a pillar in the city of Pontiac, a poet,
yes,
and also an entrepreneur, left a legacy in the city in his print. We're definitely sending condolences to his daughters, Jessica and Jennifer.
Yes.
So we want you to know that you are in our prayers, and we're asking God's strength to be your portion in this hour of bereavement, and also the kids and grandkids and all other family members.
So I remember, I just want to have a flashback, a quick flashback on Ken Core. I remember when they had the village basketball camp back in the day. Mm-hmm. I was in my 30s. And when they first started, because Mr. Green, I think Coach Cy Green, right? Wasn't that under Coach Green? And I remember Mr. Ken Core said to me, you know, I need you to come speak at the camp. I want you to advertise on the back of the shirt. And he actually really, really got me going with my mindset, thinking differently about the community, of what I could give back, what I could do, and how the younger basketball players or the young ladies was going to be looking at me as a role model. And shout out to the Core family. Shout out to his daughters, and shout out to everybody that had an influence in Pontiac. Shout out to everybody that he influenced, because it seems like now we're giving people their roses more on social media. Yeah. You know, but are we giving them their roses when they're here? That's the question.
You know what I really loved about Mr. Cord? So now everybody has their own imprint, doing T-shirts and doing different paraphernalia, mm-hmm. but he was one of the first persons that came out with a T-shirt line with a message. And so I'm grateful to have been a recipient of some of those T-shirts, and also the poems that he would create were poems with messages. So he left a big imprint in the city of Pontiac, and he also would go to the shop often to where my husband cuts hair at, and he would sell these wonderful desserts that I believe his sister would make. So Mr. Core had a imprint on many people's lives in the city of Pontiac, and he will be sorely missed.
Well, I want to say this is that I can remember when Ken just started doing his shirts, and he believed in the vision so much. Where, and I'm picking my words carefully, because you know when you get in your heart, when you get you just want to start crying, right? And I'm holding back tears now is because I just remember the love that he had with everything he did. Everything he touched, he believed in it. And when he was selling me his first shirt, when he first started his shirt line, I was already gonna buy a shirt and buy one or buy two or three. You know, it didn't have to be sold to me. Sometimes when we're talking to people and we have a vision, you don't have to sell them, because if they like what you're doing, they're gonna sow into you. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to support you. They're just going to sow into you. So the lesson I want to say, the teachable moment I want to give you guys right now is that sometimes you don't have to sell yourself to people. You're already sold. Dr. T, I'm waiting for a comeback or something. Give me silence. What's going on?
No, I'm listening. But also, when, like you said, you don't have to sell yourself to others. Sometimes you just have to show up. And people are going to support you because, number one, it's you. But number two, they believe in what you're doing. So even if they can't see the fruition of the vision, they can sow into the vision. And sometimes they may not sow into the vision as far as purchasing an item from you, but just giving a kind word or even mentioning your name to someone else when they know that there's a need for what you have.
Okay. So you know what? Let me just say this. Let's switch on over to Word of the Day. I just wanted to give, sympathy, condolences to the Core family, and let them know how much we love them and we appreciate them. I remember the last conversation before we switched subjects was with the oldest baby. I can't. Jessica. She's gonna kill me. She was listening to this. She's like, Virginia, you can't remember my name, but we're talking about cars, and she was asking some advice, and we talked for a minute. It was like that. Those 3 or 4 phone calls we had seemed like it brought us closer. But let's switch on over to Word of the Day. Word of the week is fear. So Dr. T, when I came up with the word fear, because you make me come up with this word once a week, laugh out loud. But what in your mind, when you think about fear, what are your thoughts on fear?
Well, I have 2 different thoughts. Number one, when I first hear the word fear, false evidence appearing real, fear. And second,
when you say false evidence appears what?
Appearing real, FEAR, false evidence appearing real. So that means it appears real, so it causes you to be fearful. And so I'm reminded of the word in 2 Timothy 1:7. God does not give us the spirit of fear, but he gives us power and love and a sound mind. So fear is not from God, it's from the enemy. So that's number one. And the number 2 thing that I want to say, as a therapist, it is natural for most clients when they're coming in to see a therapist to be fearful and anxious because they don't know what they're stepping into. But as a therapist, it is my job to foster an atmosphere that will allow them to come in and build trust and rapport. So when I think about fear, I think about it being something that's a normal reaction, but you have to condition yourself to remember what the word says and then trust the process.
Well, I love the fact that when you actually talk about fear, you put it in the therapist's point of view, and then you also put it in the point of view of God. You were gifted with that. You were gifted with 2 things. A therapist, everybody can't be a great therapist, right? Because you got a lot of people with the degrees, but they don't know how to. They're not a great therapist. Yeah, I can say that. I'm not going to throw any light on, throw any dark shade on anybody. But just because you got a doctor in front of your name, just because you're a therapist, doesn't mean you're a great therapist. But I just love the way that you put both of them together. And anybody that knows you know that you have a clean and your heart is just pure. So I just want to say I appreciate you. I'm trying to give you your flowers right now. I'm trying to give you your flowers right now.
Well, tomorrow is Mother's Day, so thank you.
Yes, you know what? Yes. Happy Mother's Day, Dr. T.
Yeah.
And happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, right?
Yeah. So I also want to give a shout out to the mothers who may not have a child, but have been a role model and a mother to other children. Maybe they're a special TT. So happy Mother's Day to you, Regina.
I'm a special TT.
For the women who had a desire to have children, but for whatever reason, they were not they have not had any. So we're thinking about you today too. And for the mothers that are going on to be with the Lord, we're saying, we're shouting you out today. So happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to my mom, who was my biggest cheerleader. I can remember the times. I remember when I first started my infomercials on TV, and my mother was sick and she would go into going to rehab, or if she was at the house and I was working, because I moved back home to take care of my mother when she got ill. Oh, well, let's say, wait a minute, hold on, I gotta go back. Shout out to the caregivers. Shout out to all the caregivers that took care of my mom. Shondelyn Moore.
Happy Mother's Day, Sean.
Oh my God, I can't even call all the other names. I can't even. Vanessa Crimes is, oh man, I got one more name. I can't even get it off my tongue here. But shout out to all the healthcare workers that take care of the mothers, fathers. But just shout out to all them that take care of mothers today.
Yeah.
So let me swing on back to fear. So fear to me is when you're fearful in your heart, and you put it out in existence, right? It's because when I think about fear, sometimes I'm scared of the unknown. And scared of the unknown that's how life is, right? Sometimes I can be scared to go to that next level because I don't know how it's gonna turn out. And I put it out there in the atmosphere being fearful because I don't know how what's going to be the end result. And I want to be so successful, no matter what it is. It can be a small thing. It could be me completing a test, or it could be me taking a trip. For instance, I'm fearful of flying. Nobody really knows that, right? But I do it because I have to get to another state, right? And I'm going to another country in July. But I'm fearful of flying. So you know what I do? I pray like 2 months ahead of time. I start right now. So my trip in July, I start praying. And the trips that I do take, when I do travel, because a lot of people see me jump planes, I pray. Well, the minute I get my plane ticket, I take it to the Lord to make sure that my mind will be set when I get on that plane. Because when I'm on the plane, I think of the worst.
Well, you know what? Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, but acknowledge him in all your ways and he shall direct your path. So in any times of fear, just trust God and know that he has well thought out plans for you. So if you know that the plan maker, the one who has well thought out plans, has you on his mind and he intercedes for you, that will give you solace. So trust God.
You know what? God put people in your life for the right reason and at the right time. You know, Dr. T's been in my life for years. She always supported me, buying cars for me. Even when I went to a Ford store, she went down there and she bought a car for me, leased a car for me then. Now she's back at Chevy with me. But, you know, God put people in your life to bring other things out of you that are in you that you don't want to bring out. You know, and that's the spiritual side, you know, and I got that spiritual side of me, but most time people don't see it, you know, but you help bring that spiritual side out of me. So kudos to you, Dr. T. I've been giving you flowers all day. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because it's Mother's Day tomorrow. Ones? Can you get some real? Yeah. No, okay. You better than that. See, words can never go away, especially when you tell the world. But when you get flowers, they go on the counter, and then they die in 2 days, right? But we're going to come back, and we're going to give this young lady, you know, Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor that moves you. She has given me permission.
Century 21, Town and Country.
Thank you. So Brenda Denise Davis of Century 21.
Town and Country
has given me permission to say her middle name now because we had a conversation on our way in to the studio about it's a lot of Regina Woodards out there on Facebook. So now I put Regina Eileen Woodard. That's why I start using more of my government name that's on my driver's license and my birth certificate, so you'll know who you're looking for and who you're talking to. Regina Eileen Woodard, a.k.a. the Queen of Car Loans. We'll be right back with Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor that moves you. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Longhammer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule a next service appointment at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and we have Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor who moves you from Century 21 Town and Country. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Dr. T. How are you today?
Doing real good. So excited about the show today. So you are going to be talking about MISDA home improvement grants and loans. Is that correct?
I am, and we have a lot of information for the folks out there today.
So guess what, everybody? Get your pen and your paper and be ready to take some notes because Brenda Denise Davis has some news you can use.
All right. I like that. News you can use. Woo! All right. Well, good morning, everybody. We're going to talk about a couple of different programs that are out there for you to make home improvements. And naturally, there are some guidelines and some stipulations. And we are going to kind of give you some info on those things. So we're going to start first with the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indianapolis, and we're going to give that an abbreviation of FHLB, Neighborhood Improvement Program. And we're going to further abbreviate that to the NIP. How about that? The program is meant to impact neighborhoods. It's a federal home loan bank that gives you grants, and let's emphasize the word grants, of up to $7,500 to assist homeowners in making repairs, including maintenance issues. The program is limited to funding to member financial institutes, and some of the banks that they work with in our area would be Chemical Bank, Flagstar, Level One, First Independent Bank. So they're partners with the FHLB. So they would be able to really provide the applications for you and to give you some information and to determine whether or not you're eligible. Some of the eligibility requirements would be that the homeowner must own and occupy a single family home, a condominium, or a modular unit. There are some restrictions with regards to duplexes. You have to have lived in this home for at least 6 months prior to enrolling into this program, and you must be current with your mortgage payments, okay? You have to document all sources of income, be that Social Security, pension, interest and dividends if you're an investor, as well as earned income from your source of employment. If you're getting supplementary Social Security, and all members of the household must provide this information. The areas of eligibility would be not only Wayne County, but Oakland County as well. So I would ask you again to contact the banks that I just mentioned, Chemical Bank, Flagstar, First Independence Bank, to see if you would qualify for this funding. And again, that's up to $7,200. Income guidelines, you know that always applies. Your income has to be at or below 80% of the area median income, and it's based on your household size, and this is determined by HUD each and every year.
So Brenda, if you make so I just want to give you an example. I know you have to continue. So if you make $170,000 a year, you probably don't qualify.
Probably. They're probably looking for more low-income households. But again, I would not discourage anyone from going in and making an inquiry. You know, you don't know if you don't ask.
That's true.
So you go in and present the question, and if you're eligible, hooray, hooray. And if not, you know, you've confirmed that and you've just not second-guessed it. So please, you know, make the inquiries so you can get the monies that are out there through this particular program to make the improvements and maintenance to your home. And that takes me into the type of repairs that would be considered under this grant. Repair or replacement of existing windows, soffits, fascia, even siding, roof, gutters, downspouts. They'll even allow caulking, exterior doors, weather stripping, attic and wall insulation, heating and furnaces, ventilation and air conditioning. And if you're in an area where there's a well or septic system, they'll also take care of that for you too. So all of these repairs are included within the guidelines of approved repairs. So when it comes to weatherproofing your home, that's something that we all need to consider because that greatly reduces your utility bills, your gas usage as well as your electric use. So please keep that in mind. They even have programs for energy conservation and electrical work. So there is a whole array of repairs and improvements that are granted within this program, and this is free money up to $7,200 if you're eligible.
So this is just in the what area or county is this?
This is both
Brenda?
Wayne and Oakland.
So how would someone, because I mean, I think we need to give a good title to your segment now is like news you can use, because every month you bring information to our audience. And I believe a lot of people are using the information because where do you find this information? You know, a lot of people, you know, they're looking for homes, but sometimes a real estate agent don't know. That's why you're going to call Brenda Denise Davis at 248-909-9711, 248-909-9711. Did you like how I just put you a free commercial in there real quick?
I love it. I love you, Regina.
You the only one can call me, and I love you too. How you say Regina? What you got going on next? Brenda Denise Davis. I don't know what Dr. T doing over there. You got some in your mouth?
I'm just listening. That's news I can use.
Oh, that was a good comeback.
News I can use.
Okay, so in addition to the grants that are out there for free, there are also programs that provide low interest or zero interest loans. So if you don't qualify for the free grant of up to $7,200, perhaps you will qualify for what's called the low income or zero to low interest rate loans. This is a program, again, that's a Federal Home Loan Bank of Indianapolis. The program will grant up to $12,000 for accessibility modifications for eligible seniors who own homes. The house must be occupied by the homeowner with people who have permanent disabilities, and up to 50% of the funds requested, or a maximum of $4,000, may be used for deferred maintenance type programs such as roofing and siding or even windows. In any 5-year period, recipients cannot receive more than one grant of any kind for the same property. There are eligibility requirements for this particular program. Members must be at least 62 years of age or older, or age 17 or younger, where an older household member is the guardian of the younger household member. You are receiving permanent disability benefits, SSDI or SSI, and you have to have documentation to support the payments and the benefits for at least 60 days. And again, the key here is that you must occupy the property, and the person must be disabled, 62 years old or older. And then there's also a program for those who are age 17 or younger who are residing with that particular homeowner.
Brenda, I have a question. Mm-hmm. So you very seldom hear about programs where seniors and persons with permanent disabilities have an option to get a loan. And so, or little to no interest with little to no interest on the loan. So I hear you saying this. So if someone who is on disability on a fixed income, they have an opportunity to, if they need repairs done in their homes, whether it's ramps or other modifications, they have the opportunity to be considered for this loan. And if you're on a fixed income and they're going by your income, I guess. And so this could be really good for those that are listening. If you are a senior or if you are someone who has a permanent disability and you need repairs to your home, whether you need modifications as you're getting older, this may be something you want to look into. And so should they stop at any Chemical Bank or any Flagstar Bank or any First Independence Bank that's near their area?
Yes, I would suggest that, and I would tell them, that you're coming in to inquire about the home improvement loans or grants. Now, let me also say that these grants are also available to disabled persons. So you've got two programs available. You have home loans, low interest to no interest, or you have the grants that are also available. Now, when it comes to...
Well, Brenda, the grants, they don't have to be paid back. Is that correct?
A grant is free.
Okay, good.
All that takes is your time. Go into the bank, discuss it, bring the necessary documentation, or you know what, before you go, why not make a call? Because it's not always convenient for us to jump in a car and go for whatever reasons. But you can save yourself some time by giving one of these financial institutes a call and ask them, are you supporting this program? What must I do? Are there any particular documentations or pay stubs or disability confirmation information that I have to bring in with me? And so that when you go there, it's one stop. You don't have to go and then go home and go back again. Make that one trip do.
This is huge, especially for persons who are disabled or have a permanent disability, or even someone that's older. This is huge. This is an opportunity to get the repairs that you need or the modifications that you need. This is huge. So again, stop at one of the banks or call, as Brenda has said. This is news that I can use. So I hope you all are writing this down.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope that you're, taking notes here, because there are quite a few different repairs or modifications that this money can be used for, such as ramps, grab bars, roll-in showers, widened doorways, and so much more. So if you are at home and you have disabilities and your home is not really equipped or designed to help you in the ways that you need assistance, please contact these banks, reach out, and take advantage of the programs that are out there for you. Far too often, Regina and Dr. T, there are so many governmental programs out there that people aren't aware of. I mean, they just don't flash it on the news all day, every day, and so that money just sits and it goes unused. And there are so many people out here that really need the assistance. So I really employ upon our audience today, if you know of someone or if you personally have a need for use of these programs, to reach out, even if it means being placed on a waiting list, because I do know that there's so much money per year that they have to disperse. And so, even if you've missed the deadline, don't be discouraged. Get yourself on there so you can be considered for the upcoming year.
That's good. That's good information. I like how you said even if you missed the deadline, because there is allocated funds for the year, but the fact that there is a waiting list, that means I'm going to be considered for the next go round. So thank you for that information, Brenda.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor that moves you and with information, news you can use. Again, I look forward to this segment every month, is because she's always sharing pertinent information, but Brenda does her homework for you. Some realtors, you'll call them and they'll try to figure it out, and you don't even know they're trying to figure it out. But when you can have a realtor that has information that they want to share with you, that's powerful, and that's going to help you and maybe help someone. Maybe it's not exactly you. It might be somebody else that needs the assistance or needs the help. So I hope that you had your pen and paper ready and you took notes. But if you didn't and you missed this on today, this Saturday, the day before Mother's Day, you can always go to www.beinthedriverseat.com, beinthedriverseat.com, and listen to our past episodes. You can download it to your phone, you can send it to your friend, and you can listen. I encourage you to do that. Or you can go to our Facebook page, Be in the Driver's Seat, and you can like our page. And also, while I'm on our social media platforms, Dr. T just reminded me, is that you can go to our YouTube channel. We are looking to get our subscribers up. And how we're going to get our subscribers up is to do what? Is for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Be in the Driver's Seat, our Facebook page. And then we also have Instagram too, Be in the Driver's Seat. So we want your support. We want your love. And we also, me and Dr. T and Gil, we talked about kind of just talking about different things that are going on in the community. So if you have something that you want us to talk about or you have an event going on, let us know. You can inbox us on Be in the Driver's Seat on Facebook page. And what's our email address?
Our email address is beinthedriverseat@gmail.com.
Beinthedriverseat@gmail.com. So if you have anybody, if anybody you want to be a guest on our show, you can go to beinthedriverseat@gmail.com. Or if you want us to acknowledge someone that is important in the community, or you think that, we need to give them a shout out, please go to beinthedriverseat@gmail.com. We'll be right back with
Alan Garbacik and Brenda Denise Davis are coming back. Alan Garbacik with Stockton Mortgage and Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor who moves you from Century 21 Town and Country.
We'll be right back.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
We're back, and you listen to the favorite part of my show is because what is the most important thing that you purchase in your life? It's a house, it's a car. But you say it's a car first, but it's a house. Why are you looking like that, Dr. T?
Because when you talk about most important thing, I'm thinking I need both, but the most important will be a house. The car is my necessity thing. But
because you can't live in your car?
That's right.
You're right. You can't live in your car. Okay, you can't live in your car, Dr. T?
Some people do live in their car.
But, well, that's not nice, Dr. T.
No, I'm just saying. It's proven. It's fact.
It's facts that people live in their car.
It is. They would choose to not be with family and choose to live in their car. Not because they have to, but because they make it a choice.
Okay, well, we're gonna stop on that note.
But anyway, back to the question.
Right.
The house is the most important thing. So yeah, I'm excited about the team that we have here. Alan Garbacik from Stockton Mortgage and Brenda D. Davis, the realtor who moves you from Century 21 Town and Country. Good morning, everybody, again.
Good morning.
Can you guys say that one more time together?
Good morning.
Oh, I love that. And I got that on video. Together. So what we got going on today, Alan Garbacik with Stockton Mortgage?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us. This morning, I kind of wanted to talk, housing's got expensive, right?
Yes.
House prices have gone up significantly in the past few years. And so have interest rates. So the government has really taken that into account, and they've put together some, the government and the agencies that we work with, they've put together some more affordable solutions for people to go out and buy their house. So wanted to talk about some of those solutions and some of the things that are happening.
Okay, great. So let's get into it. Let's go.
Awesome.
And we hope you got your pen and your paper ready.
Because we got some news you can use.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it.
Number one, there's been a couple of things that have been out there for a long time, right? MISHDA, Michigan Housing Development Authority, Michigan State Housing Development Authority, they offer down payment assistance. And this is a second mortgage on the house. Used to be up to $7,500. Some places were $10,000 that they would give you to help you with the down payment and the closing costs on purchasing a house. This is a second mortgage, 0% interest, 0 payment. 640 credit score or above is one of the requirements. You have to meet some income requirements, and the house can't be over, the purchase price can't be over 224 and some change, 225. We'll just leave it at that. So this MISHDA down payment assistance, because houses have gotten so expensive, because people are struggling a little bit to find the money for that down payment, they opened that $10,000 up starting May 8th to every single MISHDA. So instead of $7,500, everybody is going to be able to access the full $10,000.
Wow. So that $10,000 is available to every person regardless of their income?
No, sorry. As long as you follow all the other guidelines within MISHDA, the guidelines, the income limits, the asset limits, all of that stuff, $10,000 for any property. Used to be $10,000 for specific area codes, and $7,500 for the rest. They opened up the $10,000 everywhere.
I'm glad that they across the board. I'm glad that they put that $10,000 because there has been a big uproar about the disparities in area codes. How more money has been allotted based on the zip code you live in.
Absolutely. So you're right, but like with that $10,000, it was zip codes that were underserved.
So, I like that you say that.
Yes.
Because it's helping. It's not just going to help the underprivileged people, right? It's going to help people of all, right? Is that
Absolutely.
am I saying that right?
Well, yes. It used to be the $10,000 for certain zip codes that were underserved, like I said, right? So some of the zip codes that may not be places that everybody wants to live, but
may not be favorable. You're
right. Yeah, you know, and now they opened it up to every zip code throughout the state of Michigan. So
I like that because that puts us all on the same playing ground.
100%.
At first, it was, like I said, it was a disparity between, like, that it was a pick and choose, but now everyone has the same
Playing
opportunity.
ground. Yeah.
So that's good. I like that. So, Alan, tell us a little bit more about this program.
So income limits are based on how many people are in the household. So you can't make too much money.
And what's too much money?
Too much money.
Yeah, because
What's too
what
much
is
money?
Too much
Yes.
money? And especially in the economy we're living in.
Absolutely.
What is too much?
Everything is double now.
One individual in the house. Most areas, it's right around. I'd have to look it up. It's in the 90s, 96,000, somewhere around there.
Ooh, that's
for one
right.
person,
That has
right?
That income level has raised.
Yeah, and then with 2 people, it's somewhere in the low hundreds, and it goes up from there as you add more people in the household. So,
okay, wow. You know, Alan, I'm really baffled about the housing and stuff. Like you said, that many people are struggling to get the down payment. There has been an increase in property lately. Is that because there is a shortage?
in property values, absolutely. Brenda can attest to that. There's very, very few houses for sale out there. There's less buyers than there was last year and the year before, but there's so many less less houses for sale.
Why do you think?
That's true. Well, there are fewer homes on the market, and that's been a problem for us now for a couple of years. But when you think back, there are a lot of homeowners who took advantage of those low interest rates, and so they refinanced. And so now we've got interest rates that are a bit higher, quite a bit higher. And so I think, that is one of the elements that is contributing to our inventory shortage. But in addition to that, there are always going to be people that have to sell their homes. Either they're downsizing or they're increasing their family size. And what we're telling our agents now is that you have to go out and look for the business. If you have a client that's looking for, say, a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,000 square foot home, you have to look beyond what's currently on the market. So that means door knock, send letters or postcards or something to a particular area that's, the area that your client wants to reside in, because quite often there may be somebody in that neighborhood who's thinking about selling but hasn't really reached out.
Or don't know what to do. Or don't know about the services that are out there. Yes.
So as an aggressive realtor, knock on the door in a particular neighborhood, and ask the question, are you interested in marketing your home? I have a buyer who is looking in this area. And if not, who do you know? Mm-hmm. Is the guy down the street talking about moving perhaps? Is your neighbor across the street thinking of moving?
Asking for referrals.
You have to ask for the business. And you'd be surprised as to what you'll come up with. But that's just one of the things that as realtors we can do to help improve the market right now with regards to the inventory that we don't have. So, and the buyers are still out there, in spite of the fact that the rates have gone up. And I think you've heard me say it before, historically, interest rates have always been just about where they are now. So it's nothing new, but I think we've become spoiled to the fact that interest rates really went way, way down to where they had never been before, and I'm sure that you'll attest to that.
Unheard of,
yeah. So, you just need to just go out there and service your client.
So I got a question, Brenda. Mr. I have been told, I have listened to just people talk, ear hustling, right? And I've heard that sometimes sellers don't like to deal with Mr. Have you heard that? I mean, I'm just ear hustling at work. Because they, if they have a Mr. loan, or how are they getting their down payment, then they're critiquing exactly whether they want to actually take that particular buyer. And to me, I'm looking at that, that's that's discrimination.
Yeah. It is, but you know what, in today's market, because the inventory is so low and you have so many buyers, a few months back we thought that the multiple offer situation had kind of buried itself. Well, it's back. And so when you have anywhere from 3 to 4 to maybe as many as 20 offers sitting on the table, then that homeowner can be very particular and pick and choose which buyer they want. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're discriminating, because let's face the fact, when you put your house out there on the market, you want top buck for it, right off the top. And then if you have 4 to 20 folks that want your house, you're just going to take your time and you're going to look through those offers and may the best man win. And believe me, home buyers now are giving up everything to get the house that they desire. Some are waiving inspections, something I would never, ever suggest or recommend. They're putting in escalation clauses. They're doing any number of things to make their offer more attractive than the next guy.
Well, you know what? I like that you answered that question very carefully. and by you doing that, I appreciate you answering that question very carefully, because they're looking out for their own best interests.
Let me share this with you guys too. One of the important things when you're a buyer in the market is to make sure you have a great real estate agent, to make sure you have a great loan officer that are working for you, working hard for you. Here's what happens. We have a client with a MISTA pre-approval, Brenda and I'm going to know the listing agent, or I'm at least going to call out to the listing agent and say, hey, you need to accept this offer. They're really solid clients. They just don't have a ton of money. And we're going to work with them and try and convince them to accept our offer over any other offer. Brenda knows all the agents out there. All the agents know Brenda. I know quite a few out there. I work with them all the time, so they know how we work, and we get loans closed.
Wow. So it's important to have a solid team, because when you have a solid team, you can all work with each other. And because you both are reputable individuals in the sector that you're in, people trust what you have to say, and you also work for the client. So I think that's the big thing that we need to take away. You work for the client, and you want what's best for the client.
And when you look at the overall big picture, it's a partnership. There's a partnership between the client, be it buyer or seller, the loan officer, and the realtor, and there are a lot of other pieces.
And the listing agent
and the part of it, the listing agent as well. So the agents are working together, and the goal is to bring everyone together. Everyone is feeling that they've been well serviced. Everyone is feeling that they've been treated fairly, and that their goal has been accomplished with either buying or selling their property. So it's definitely a partnership.
Absolutely. So let me switch products here, because I've got 3 other products that are really designed to help individuals.
Can we start with one, because we're going to take a break and then you can
We'll start
come
with one.
back.
We have a 0% down, 0% down payment. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean $0 out of pocket, because there's still closing costs, there's still escrows that need to be paid out of pocket. But if you get a FHA loan with a 3.5% down payment, we have a company that'll actually give you that 3.5% down payment as a second loan. This does have a payment tied to that second loan, though.
And how long would the loan be for the second loan?
The second loan will be a 10-year amortized, with an interest rate that is the FHA interest rate plus 2%.
So is it a balloon, or do they make payments over the 10 years and it's done?
It's
correct?
a 10-year amortization, so there's no balloon or anything.
And what's the amount for the second loan? What, up to
3.5%.
3.5% of the sales price?
That's it. There's no limit. We have to stay within the FHA limit, which is for $472 and some change, $472,000 and some change. But outside of that, there's no limit on the 3.5%. So.
All right, we'll be right back, and we're going to continue the 2 items that Alan Garbacik with Stockton Mortgage wanted to talk about. And then we'll also be back with Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor that moves you. That's with Town & Country Century 21.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Longhammer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule a next service appointment at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and we're back with Alan Garbacik from Stockton Mortgage and Brenda D. Davis, the realtor who moves you from Century 21 Town & Country. Now, Alan, when we went to break, you had 2 more tools that you want to share with us. So let's get into it.
I do. So we started with MISTA, which is the down payment assistance, which is definitely a good product, but not everybody is going to qualify for it. So we then touched on our 0% down with a second mortgage FHA in the first and a second mortgage for the 3.5% down. That we could get down to a 600 credit score for the client, and that's really, for the most part, the only thing that we have to follow. We have to make sure that they're qualified otherwise, but for an FHA mortgage. But that's it.
So what's DTI? And I'm asking because I'm out ear hustle at work, right? DTI, what is debt to income on that FHA loan?
Debt to income ratio, FHA, 50%.
So is that gross or net?
Gross. We can get up to 55, possibly.
Okay.
Possibly we could get up to 57.
Okay. Well, that's important. I'm asking these questions is because these are things that you need to know about products that are out there, because if you don't get with the right broker or the right finance company, right, or loan officer, let me get my words together. If you don't get with the right loan officer that can help you know that, can share the information you don't know. Because sometimes people say, well, I'm going to hook up my friend, I'm going to hook up blah, blah, blah. If that person's not knowledgeable, it doesn't make sense. Has to make sense. That's why we bring this team together every month. I think I'm going to come up with we're going to need to come up with a name, Dr. T, for the team here. But okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm getting all off focus.
No worries. So we've got those two products that really help with the down payment. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, we sell all of our mortgages to a government agency, either Ginnie Mae, which is FHA, VA, or Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, right? Mm-hmm. So those are the government agencies that kind of back every loan out there in the market, most loans. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, those are the conventional mortgages. There are some first-time homebuyer benefits for people that don't have too much income, right? Again, we're looking at, on this side, it's about $72,000, give or take, in most areas of income. If they make less than that, there's a couple of programs called Home Possible and Home Ready. Home Possible is Freddie Mac. Home Ready is Fannie Mae. And both of these, if you qualify for it, there's two things. Number one, you could do 3% down with a reduced PMI rate. So PMI is the private mortgage insurance that you pay if you don't put 20% down. So that's one of the benefits. The other benefit is a lower interest rate as well than a regular.
That's huge.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that's out there in the market right now. But again, you're looking at a $72,000, give or take, maximum income. Okay.
So that leads to my question is, what's the minimum income for these programs that you're offering?
There's no minimum income, but your debt to income ratio has to be okay.
So if you're making, I got to stop thinking like car and house, right?
Sure.
Because when you think about customers that making $2,000 a month, right? Or you have somebody say, I make $1,500 a month, $1,400. And I'm like, with that amount of money, you can't qualify for anything because you got your car payment, you got your insurance, you got other things that you have to, put in place. So that's why I asked you.
Yeah. That's the same thing with us, right? Imagine this, right? You make $2,000 a month. If you divide that in half, giving you a 50% debt to income ratio, that puts you at $1,000 of total debts, including that housing payment, right? So that puts you at, if all that you have is a mortgage, no car payment, no credit cards, nothing, I'm guessing that'll be somewhere in the low 100s for a purchase price on a house. That's difficult to find. So somebody with $2,000 a month in income may not be able to get qualified.
So you know what I always say, you got to get that second person on the loan. You get that, if you got that spouse, or you got that loved one or that significant other, whomever, you want more house, you don't make that much money, you have someone you put on a loan. And I feel that a lot of people now are scared to include that second person on the loan.
There's that joke out there, the significant other, sign if I can't. Significant.
So sign if I can't. So sign if I can't. So you want this house, I can't get it, then I need you to put it in your name, right?
You got it.
Just put your clause out there with that person. Get that in writing, because we all know if you're not married to that person, you know, sometimes things happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I got one more thing that the government has really come out with, or the government agencies. So Fannie Mae, they have the home ready product that I just talked about, and that income limit is right around that $72,000 to qualify for that. So what if you make more than that, but not a ton more, right? So if you make right around $95,000 of income or less, but over that $72,000, we have a product that we can actually get you a lower interest rate, just like you could on the Home Possible or Home Ready. The only downfall is that we cannot give you the lower PMI rate, but it's going to be the same interest rate. So these are the things that the government and the agencies are putting together to make housing a little bit more affordable for everybody. So every time I turn around, there's something else out there.
Well, you know, having something else out there, because we had a little bit of space in there. What are your thoughts on that, Brenda?
You know, I have a thought on it. Excuse me, I do have my thoughts, but you know, any way that we can help individuals to become homeowners is, to me, awesome. You know, that's the American dream. Everyone wants to own their own home, and they should. So the programs that you know, were just discussed and just you know, Alan went into great depth as to what the limitations are, what the necessary credit scores are. So, you know, I would just employ upon our listeners, you know, to take advantage of the programs and the opportunities that are out there. Inventory is low, so, you know, it may take a little bit of time to find that perfect house for you, or even to get an offer accepted, but be persistent. And never take the mindset that you've been defeated, because it's my belief that if it's meant for you, you're going to have it. So as long as you have a good team, a good realtor, and a good lender working on your behalf, then, you know, all things are possible, and we can make it happen for you.
That's good. So
I was just going to say, it doesn't hurt to reach out, guys. It really doesn't. If you're renting right now, reach out to us. Let's take a look. Let's see.
And
if
how
we
can
can
they
get
reach
you? My direct line, Stockton Mortgage, 248-582-6680. My office is in Bloomfield Hills. We're just south of Pontiac, over at Long Lake and Woodward. 248-582-6680.
And Brenda D. Davis, tell us how we can reach you.
I sure will. I can be reached at 248-909-9711. Again, that's 248-909-9711.
So you all heard it here. We had a dynamic real estate team that's in the building. So I hope you all took notes. You had Alec and Garbacik from Stockton Mortgage, and Brenda Denise Davis with the realtor who moves you from Century 21 Town and Country.
All right, we had a great show today. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to the TTs, and happy Mother's Day to myself, because I'm a TT. And you all have a great week, and you'll hear us same time, same place next Saturday morning from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Have a great week.
Happy Saturday.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.